तो मैं फेसबुक पे भी डाल रही हूँ, तो आप जब भी शुरू करना है आप शुरू कर दीजिए।
ठीक है। माई मेरिया सच्चियां जोता वाली माता जी थोड़ी सदा ही जय। जयकारा श्री राम वाली दा बोल साचे दरबार की जय। सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय। राधा कृष्ण देव की जय। साईं बाबा की जय। भगवान स्वामीनारायण की जय। सब धर्मों की जय जय जय। तो इसी के साथ चंद्र से प्रार्थना करूंगा, आज की सभा शुरू करेंगे।
तो अरुण जी, आप जरा वेटिंग रूम को ध्यान दीजिए और लोगों को आने दीजिए अंदर।
ठीक है, आई विल वॉच भावना जी।
ओके।
सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् पूर्णमारुतमिव बन्धनान् श्रियमामृतात् यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् पूर्णमारुतमिव बन्धनान्
धन्यवाद चंद्र जी। धीमन भाई।
गुड। आज मालकांश गाने का मूड आ गए हैं, तो वो शंकर भगवान का बहुत प्यारा राग था ऐसा कहते हैं, तो ये मालकांश से शुरुआत करते हैं। ओम धीमक धीमक धिम धीमक धीमक धिम नाचे भोला ना ओम धीमक धीमक धिम धीमक धीमक धिम नाचे भोला ना ओम धीमक धीमक धिम धीमक धीमक धिम नाचे भोला ना नाचे भोला नाचे भोला ओम धीमक धीमक धिम धीमक धीमक धिम नाचे भोला
ओम धीमक धीमक धिम धीमक धीमक धिम नाचे भोला
मृदंग बाजे शिव 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 ओम मृदंग बाजे शिव 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 ओम डमरू बोले हर हर हरि ओम डमरू बोले हर हर हरि ओम वीणा बोले शिव 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 वीणा बोले शिव 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 नाचे भोला नाचे भोला धीमक धीमक धिम धीमक धीमक धिम नाचे भोला धनी सा
ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय,
ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय।
ओम नमः शिवाय, हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय।
ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय।
शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, नमः शिवाय। मोहे लागे, ओ मोहे लागे, मोहे लागे चरण के,
मोहि लागे लगन गुरु चरण की, लागे लगन गुरु चरण की।
चरण बिना मुझे कछु नहीं भावे, चरण बिना मुझे कछु नहीं भावे, झूठी माया सब सपनन के, झूठी माया सब सपनन के, मोह लागे
गुरु चरण के,
लागी भवसार कर सब सुख गयो है,
भवसागर सब सुख गयो है,
फिक्र नहीं मोर तरनन की, फिक्र नहीं मोर तरनन की, मोहे
लागी लगन गुरु
चरणन की, मोहे लागी। भवसार मीरा के प्रभु गिरधर नागर,
मेरा कहे प्रभु गिरधर नागर,
उलट भई मोर नयनन की, उलट भई मोर नयनन की,
मोहि लागी लगन गुरु चरण की, मोहि लागी लगन गुरु चरण की।
मोहे लागे, ओ मोहे लागे लगन गुरु चरणन की।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। तो ट्यूसडे मेरे साथ क्या हुआ कि मैं सुबह में माता जी की जोत कर रहा था, तो मैंने कहा अगर रात को मेरे को गाने का चांस मिले भजन गाने का तो कौन सा भजन गाऊं, तो उसमें आया भय बंजना सुन बंदना हमारे।
आप सुनाइए वो फिर।
तो रात को जब उस टाइम चांस आया तो मेरे सामने आया वो भजन मुखड़ा क्या देखो, और आपको पता मुझे कितना हार्ड टाइम लगा वो भजन गाने में। मैं कहूँ ये इतनी क्यों हो रही है, जब बाद में जोत करने के बाद सोचा तो मैंने कहा भजन तो वो गाना था तो इसीलिए मुश्किल पड़ी थी, तभी वो भजन वह वंजना आज गाते हैं। वह वंजना वंदना सुन हमारी, वह वंजना वंदना सुन हमारी, दरस तेरे मांगे ये तेरा पुजारी, भंजना वंदना सुन हमारी। गीतों के फूलों की माला बनाकर, गीतों के फूलों की माला बनाकर, लाया हूँ दिल आरती में सजा कर, ये सांसों की सरगम करूं तेरे अर्पण, ये सांसों की सरगम करूं तेरे अर्पण, तुझे और क्या दूं मैं ठहरा भिखारी, तरस तेरे मांगे ये तेरा पुजारी, मैं वंदना वंदना सुन हमारी। आजा मधुर स्वप्न सी मुस्कुराती, आजा मधुर स्वप्न सी मुस्कुराती, मन के बुझे दीप हंस कर जलाती, जपे दिल की धड़कन तेरा नाम हरदम, उतर जोत किरणों की लेकर सवारी, उतर जोत किरणों की लेकर सवारी, दरस तेरे मांगे ये तेरा पुजारी, मैं वंदना वंदना सुन हमारी, मैं वंदना वंदना सुन हमारी। धन्यवाद। चंद्र जी।
हाँ जी जी,
सुनाइए भजन आप।
मैं ये सुन रही थी कि आज सब मालकोंस गा रहे हैं, तो मैं भी मालकोंस में ही गा देती हूँ। अगर वो भगवान भोलेनाथ का ही है भजन।
वेरी नाइस।
जी। सत सृष्टि तांडव रचयिता, नटराज राज नमो 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 नमः। सत सृष्टि तांडव रचयिता, नटराज राज नमो नमः। हे आद्य गुरु शंकर पिता, हे आद्य गुरु शंकर पिता, नटराज राज नमो नमः। सृष्टितांडव रचयिता नटराज राज नमो नमः गंभीर नाद मृदंगना धबके उड़े ब्रह्मांड गंभीर नाद मृदंगना धबके उड़े ब्रह्मांड नित होत नाद प्रचंड नटराज राज नमो नमः शत सृष्टि तांडव रचयिता नटराज राज नमो नमः शिर ज्ञान गंगा चंद्रमा चिद ब्रह्म ज्योति नलाटवा शिर ज्ञान गंगा चंद्रमा चिद ब्रह्म ज्योति ललाटवा विषनाग माला कंठमा नटराज राज नमो नमः सृष्टि तांडव रचयिता नटराज राज नमो 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 नमः तव शक्ति वामांगे स्थिता हे चंद्रिका अपराजिता तव शक्ति वामांगे स्थिता हे चंद्रिका अपराजिता जहु वेद गाये संहिता जहु वेद गाये संहिता नटराज राज नमो नमः सृष्टि तांडव रचयिता नटराज राज नमो नमः नमो नमः नमो
अति सुंदर, थैंक यू चंद्र जी। मैं भावना जी की वेट कर रहा हूँ ताकि वो जतिन भाई ओके।
हरि ओम एवरीवन। हरि ओम।
प्रणाम जतिन भाई, जय श्री कृष्णा, कैसे हैं?
गुड गुड, वेरी गुड, थैंक यू।
अच्छा, भावना जी अभी आ रही हैं तो वो आपको को होस्ट बना देंगे।
ओके, इट्स डन।
अभिलाष जी को भी बना दीजिए, वो भी है उसमें।
वेयर इज ही?
ए तिवाड़ी।
ओके, डन।
थैंक यू।
ओके,
So we have 3 minutes. So I will sing 1 or 2 lines.
Oh, very good.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Har Har Bole, Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Har Har Bole, Namah Shivaya. Rameshwaraya Shiva Rameshwaraya, Rameshwaraya Shiva Rameshwaraya, Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya, Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya. Gangadharaya Shiva Gangadharaya, Gangadharaya Shiva Gangadharaya, Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya, Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya. Oh. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Hari Om. So last time we did the first shloka, and we will repeat quickly what it meant. Adharam madhuram vadanam madhuram nayanam madhuram hasitam madhuram. So adharam is lips, vadanam is face, nayanam is eyes, and hasitam is smile. The face matters a lot, and the face expresses clearly what you are all about. The face does not shine or does not look good unless you are a virtuous person. Even though two people look identical, the person with the character, with the virtues, with the qualities we are attracted to. And otherwise, the face is very good, but the moment we find out the virtues of that person and it doesn't stand anywhere, we turn around and leave. It's not worth talking to that person or not worth being a friend of that person. So that's what it meant. It's not just the face, it is the virtues. Only virtue shines the face. Without the virtues, the face doesn't shine. Hridayam madhuram, gamanam madhuram. The heart is good. That means the love, the understanding is good, sweet. And gamanam madhuram, the walk, the gait is sweet. And madhuradipate rakilam madhuram, the owner, the Lord of the sweetness, has the ocean full of sweetness. It is not just Lord Krishna, though this description is about Lord Krishna. Every one of the Ishwaras in Hinduism have a very big heart, very considerate, very compassionate, very loving to all the disciples, all the bhakta. And they're full of love, full of sweetness. And they can keep spreading the sweetness all throughout and they never run out of it. So that's what it means. Madhuradipate rakilam madhuram. That Lord Krishna has the sweetness full of ocean. He keeps on distributing all throughout his life. Let's see the next one. He never runs out of the sweetness. This, okay. Vachanam madhuram, charitam madhuram, vasanam madhuram, valitam madhuram. What is vachan? It's the speech, the way we speak. Krishna could convince anybody at any time. And all throughout Mahabharata, if you read Mahabharata, so many occasions, so many people he had to convince. Everybody is angry at Krishna because Mahabharata was a war and nobody likes war. But that is the reason Krishna was born. Krishna was born for a purpose. The purpose was to destroy the evil from the society. And those people who were not good, he was supposed to take care of it. So he started killing the Rakshasas, the demons, the moment he was born. And it kept on happening all throughout his life. It just so happened that even the soldiers were not good, in the sense it was their time to either be suppressed or leave. And that's what happened. So the war always has death. War is never pleasant. But it was his job. That is the reason he was born, and he did it. So everybody was angry at Krishna. But he kept on convincing the people one after the other that, listen, whatever is necessary must be done. You are not doing anything. He convinced Arjuna very well that whatever happens in the war, you are not doing it. I am doing it. I am responsible. If you want to blame somebody, blame me. So the way his nature was, he was very sweet, but he could convince everybody of whatever that he wants to convince that person for. The speech is described in our scriptures very, very clearly. What kind of speech we should all have. The best speech in the world is maun. Don't speak at all. There was one time I remember, Vajpayee was the president, was the Prime Minister of India. And I think it was Middle East war. And Department of State, and I think it was the Secretary of State, went to see Vajpayee. And the negotiations after the talk with Vajpayee, he came out and he told the people, we had a meaningful negotiations and talk with the Prime Minister of India, Vajpayee. Guess what happened in that meeting? Vajpayee entered, he sat down, he smiled, he heard the half an hour discussion is finished. He got up and left. How much did he negotiate? Zero. How much did he talk? Zero. Is it necessary to talk? No. He knew exactly what was happening. He did not speak one word, and that was a good negotiation. So Maunam is the best speech. Whenever there is a problem at home or at work, the best way to handle is just stay quiet, listen, and the problem is solved. The problem exaggerates only when we argue. If we don't argue, there is no problem. There are few other qualities described in the scriptures. The speech should be short. Whatever we speak has to be few sentences. You don't have to speak for half an hour. When you speak for half an hour, you're guilty. Or you don't know how to explain. 3, it must be truthful. Don't manipulate, don't cheat, don't lie, don't say something which is not correct. Next, it must be sweet. You don't have to shout. You don't have to raise voice. You just have to be calm and speak sweetly. Next, it must be pleasant to the other person. The other person will listen to your speech only if it is a pleasant thing. Otherwise, he'll turn around and walk away. Do not criticize other person. People attack. Whenever somebody says something, the other person will attack you. But how about you? You do the same thing and go on. That's it. That's the beginning of fight. So do not criticize other person. It must not be, your words must not be hurtful. And what do? We always say something which is hurtful. And who do we hurt? We hurt the people we love the most. Avoid it. Our speech should not be hurtful. And the last, it must be based on our Shastras. So the Vedas are our Shastras. We have lots of Shastras, but it must be based on Shastras. We cannot speak without any base on any topic for that matter. So that's the way the Vachanam should be. And that's the way Lord Krishna was. Short, but meaningful and effective. Charitam Madhuram. What is Charitam? Character. I don't know who said, but it is definitely described. If money is lost, nothing is lost. If time is lost, something is lost. But if character is lost, everything is lost. So that Charitam is extremely important. Character is extremely important. No matter what we do in our home life, make sure that the character remains intact. Otherwise, the person has no value. Once we leave the group of other people, the moment you leave, everybody will criticize if the character is not good. Vasanam Madhuram. Bhagwan's clothes are very sweet. I remember once Gandhiji went and met, at that time there was a king in England. Now for last, 70 years or so, there is queen. But before the Second World War, and before the end of the Second World War, before the freedom, Gandhiji went and met the king of England. He was only wearing dhoti. So when he came out, one of the reporters asked him, how did you feel sitting in front of a king with half-naked body? And Gandhiji replied, listen, I was very comfortable. And guess what? The king was wearing the clothes of both of us. he was overdressed. And this is what I wear. It is not what I wear, it is what comes out from my mouth. So the explanation all the time about the clothing is, it is not how expensive the clothing is or are. It must be clean clothes. This is what the steel, who's the owner of steel? Ratan Tata. I said once before also, probably, maybe not this class, maybe another class. Ratan Tata told everybody what you should be ashamed of. And he answered what you should not be ashamed of. And what did he say? He said 4 things. Don't be ashamed of your clothes as long as it is clean. Don't be ashamed of your small house. You can live in a 1 room and you can be a thorough gentleman. Don't be ashamed of your parents. You are here because of them. And people are ashamed of older parents. And don't be ashamed of your poor friends. Poor friends are also friends. Lord Krishna had a very poor friend, and it is coming up in the further down on this, in this itself, what stotram. So we shouldn't worry about the clothing. And Krishna's clothing, that yellow cloth, pitambar that he wears, it's so beautiful. It looks gorgeous. It's sweet. Vasanam madhuram, valitam madhuram, chalitam madhuram. So valitam madhuram, chalitam madhuram is what? Valitam is action, the way we act. When we talk, right now I'm talking, and my hands are here, my hands are there, my hands are there. My face is one way, my body is one way, my body is another way. That is valitam madhuram. When Bhagavan talks, the way he moves around is very, very sweet. Valitam madhuram. Chalitam madhuram. Now that's a slight difference. Chalitam is the conduct, and charitam is the character. So what's the difference between the two? Conduct is how you behave and relate with the other people with whom you work or relate as a friend or relative. That is conduct. And charitam is character of a human being. His character was also very sweet, and his conduct was also very sweet. Brahmitam madhuram. Brahmitam is wandering around. Brahmitam was very sweet. What does that mean? No matter where he goes, no matter where he just wanders around, it is sweet all the time. We have a Param Guru. Param Guru means Guru's Guru. So the Guru is Chinmayananda, and Guru's Guru was Tapavan Maharaj. He was in Himalayas. He spent most of his life in Himalayas. And he wrote a book. The name of the book was Wandering in Himalayas. So what is that wandering all about? He enjoyed the beauty. He enjoyed no matter where he went. Most places he went without even shoes. Just his simple clothes, climb up, begs for the food, eats, teaches the people, whoever wants to know anything about any scripture in Hinduism, he knew everything by heart. But he enjoyed the mountains, he enjoyed the trees, he enjoyed the snows, he enjoyed the animals, he enjoyed the visitors, he enjoyed the temples. The whole universe is divine. The whole area of Himalayas is divine. You can say, this is what the way we should look at the world, that the world is divine. Let's see the next one. Venur Madhuro, Renur Madhuraha. So what is Venu? The flute. Venur's Madhura is Bhagavan's flute is very sweet. Yes, it is sweet. It's the same as Murli or Venu or Vamsi or Bansi. It's all same thing with a very minimal difference. So that was very sweet. True, we all know that. I mean, once he starts playing the flute, he can collect the whole town. Everybody runs and looks around. Not only the humans run after him to listen to what he's playing, even the animals stand still. They say even the birds will stand still and not fly and listen to Krishna's playing flute. We know some of the events in the scriptures, that is on Sharad Purnima. Sharad is autumn, it's fall, and the Purnima is the full moon day. So you see, even in this picture, there is a full moon outside, and it's the evening time. So on Sharad Purnima, he used to play and gather the whole town, and all the gopis run after him. They leave the work halfway and run after him to listen to his flute. It was that sweet. So who were the gopis? Now, I think it is coming up in the future, so let's hold on there. But the idea of flute is what? There is another interpretation of that. The flute is a hollow bamboo. That's what it is. And it has some holes in it. You play from one side and the sound comes out. Bhagavan says that you empty your head of your arrogance and ego, and I will fill it up with the melody. But as long as your head is full of ego and arrogance, I can't help you. Bhagavan doesn't care for our ability. Bhagavan doesn't care for our inability. Bhagavan doesn't care for our, only thing he cares for is our availability. That's what we should be. Bhakta, run after the Lord. It creates the love for the Lord. The whole purpose of all the Puranas that we have 18 popular Puranas, but there are some more Puranas, but the 18 popular Puranas were written by Vedvyasa. And what he did is that he took the history, and one time was Ram and one time was Krishna, and is the history of India. And he added in it all the values that he wanted to describe and people to understand in the Vedas. He put it together with all the Puranas. So Puranas are perfectly good. And the purpose of Puranas is to create the love for the Lord. The love was missing in Vedas. Vedas is a pure knowledge. Unfortunately, it becomes a dry knowledge. So that knowledge, to make it interesting and make it something which people would like, he wrote 18 Puranas. And all 18 Puranas are nothing but Ishwaras. Ishwaras is the God we usually pray to when we go to temple, and all different kinds of Ishwar that we bow to, we pray to, we have bhakti to and relationship with. And until 100 years, people in India only were bhakta, because there were very few people teaching and very few people learning Vedas. Now the things have changed in last 100 years. But at one time, the only thing which existed was Puranas, and people kept Puranas in the house and kept reading. They're interesting stories, and that's how you develop the love, and that's how you understand and learn how to live a life. And that was the purpose of Puranas, and it was served very well. So Venur Madhara, the flute is sweet. Renur Madhuraha. Renu is the dust of the feet. So the dust of the feet is also sweet. There was a time, I think Surdas ji wrote, I wish I was born as the dust of Vrindavan. So Lord Krishna can walk all over me and I can touch the feet of Lord Krishna. There is another incident in Ramayana, is that there was a Rishi, Gautam Rishi, and his wife was Ahalya. And he cursed Ahalya and made her a rock. But he said that there will be one time the incarnation of the Lord will come and touch his feet, and the dust touching that rock, you will become a woman again. Until that time, be a rock. And that's exactly what happened. That Ram touched his feet, and the dust of his feet touched the rock, and Ahalya was reborn as a human. So why is the dust of the foot that important? It's because we stand on the feet. And once again, the feet are coming up also. So that is the substratum. That is the foundation on which we stand. And the feet and the dust of the feet represents the knowledge that a person has. So we also, I mean, in all other places also, we do the Paduka Puja. Why do we do Paduka Puja? Because that foot and that the dust of the foot is representing the knowledge of the person you do the puja of. So there are very many occasions. Every year we do Paduka Puja a few times, and that's the value of it. Panir Madhuraha, Padau Madhuraha. So what is Pani is the hands and Padav is the feet. Bhagwan's hands are beautiful, sweet, and Bhagwan's feet are beautiful and sweet. So just the same way the dust of the feet itself is sweet, and the hands are sweet because the hands do the right things in life. In another bhajan, it says that the hands are of no use until that hand is used for the benefit of the other people in the society. Whichever way we can help physically, we can help by giving the donation, we can help by giving the food to the needy, we can use our mind and be a mentor of somebody, but our whole life should be for the service of the mankind. That gives the biggest pleasure in the world. Unfortunately, people from Indian background, we are not used to donation or helping the people as much, because we used to ask the question, what is in it for me? But our children are better than us, and their children are really good, that from little age, we teach them to share, though we don't share. And even the little kids, they will donate when they see somebody who is poor, and whatever money they have saved from their weekly allowance, they don't mind giving it to somebody. So that is a very good beginning of life. And that is a very good habit of the learning that we teach them to share is a wonderful thing. When they grow up, they will understand how much pleasure is there in donating. That hands are good only for helping the other people and taking care of the people without the parents, without the benefits, without the wealth, without the place to stay, without the food. So we should be helping them. And Padav Madhurav, the feet and the legs are madhur or sweet. Once again, the reason is because we stand on it. That is the foundation of a human being. Nrutyam Madhuram, the dance is sweet. So we talked about the ras. There is another time Bhagwan's feet, Bhagwan's dance was beautiful and sweet. When was that? Remember the incidents of Kalya. Kalya was a snake, and he was actually Rakshas. And he used to be in Yamuna. And Bhagwan he used to throw the poison from his mouth. So people cannot swim or stay or go near him. And if somebody does, he would kill the people. He will kill the animal, the fish, the life, no matter what he sees, cow, whatever is in the water, Kalia used to kill them. So he was a Rakshasa. Bhagwan decided, oh, really? He jumped in the water and he was in Yamuna around playing with Kalia and making him real mad, because Kalia thought, this little kid and I am the Rakshas. How can he bother me? I can kill him in a second. So Bhagwan made him really mad and just kept on fooling around with him. And the whole town got together, whole Vrindavan got together. And they were watching the show, the play of Bhagwan with Kalia. And when Lord Krishna watched that, now everybody is here, let me show them what is going to happen to Kalia, because he's bothering the people of Vrindavan. He jumped on the hood of Kalia. He increased his weight and he danced so hard on the hood of Kalia. He broke the hood of Kalia. Now he can't kill other people. He can't destroy other people. Bhagwan was ready to kill him. Once again, Bhagwan's job was to destroy the Rakshasas. But his wives, multiple she-snakes were around. And they said, please let him go. So he did let him go. But Bhagwan made sure, Kalia, you got to move out of here. You got to move to the place where nobody else is there. You cannot destroy or hurt other people. And you cannot be where the crowded place or a large city or the place like Vrindavan is. So Bhagwan made him move from there. The water is clean now, and people of Vrindavan can use Yamuna now. So that is his nritya. Sakhyam Madhuram. Sakhi is friends. Yeah, that's the last word. So Sakhyam Madhuram. So there is one incidence of Sakhi also. People who are bhakta, they do talk to the Lord. They talk to the Lord in the temple. They talk to the Lord at any time. They communicate with the Lord. That's what they do. And we can see that a lot of elderly people, they just sit and talk. I mean, Mirabai is just an example, but she's not the only one. All other people, that is one way of Naudha Bhakti we were talking about the previous time, is that you become a friend of Bhagwan. And there was one incident about that too, is that one guy used to walk around with Bhagwan and talk to him walking on the sand on the beach. And he does it all the time. And when he goes in one direction, he returns, he sees 2 pairs of foot marks on the sand, but he's the only one who is walking. So that second foot mark belongs to Bhagwan. But every time when he's in distress, he's very upset, he's very angry, he's crying, and he cannot stand the world or his situation anymore. And he really cries and complains to Bhagwan. So when he comes back, there is only one set of feet mark on the sand. So he complained to Bhagwan that when I need you the most, you are not there. Because see, there is only one set of feet. Krishna explains him. No, I was there. Where is your foot mark? I lifted you. This foot mark is my foot mark. You were in my hands. That's what bhakti is all about. Is that when we care for the Lord, Lord cares for us 100 times, 1,000 times. So that's what the Sakhi is a friend. Friendship with Lord is all about. Let's see the 4th one. Okay. Geetam Madhuram, Pitam Madhuram, Bhuktam Madhuram, Suptam Madhuram. So Geet means song. Song is very pleasant, very sweet. The biggest song that was ever written in the history of mankind is Bhagavad Gita. I say that because I'm Hindu. No, that's not the only reason I say that. One, it gives the whole essence of spirituality. Two, it is not meant for Hindus only. It is meant for every single person in the world. And three, no other scripture has ever been converted into another language more than Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is number one, not even Bible. So Bhagavad Gita is converted into different languages more than any other scripture in the history of mankind. So that is the best Gita. That is, Bhagavad Gita is the celestial song. It's the song of the Lord. And it does describe what the life should be the best it can be. It is the essence of all four Vedas. The Vedas number of the mantras you count is in thousands and thousands, whereas Bhagavad Gita is essence and it is summarized only in 700 slokas. So that's actually a very small scripture, but it's the sweetest. Bhagwan himself is also sweet. He sings sweet too. And the things written about him is also very sweet. Pitam Madhuram. Pitam is really to drink. Yeah, we use that word in Gujarati, Hindi, Sanskrit, all languages. Pitam Madhuram. What he drinks is sweet. And the only two things he drinks is water and milk. Bhagwan doesn't drink anything else. Bhuktam Madhuram. Bhuktam is the way he eats. Why that is sweet? When he was crawling around and stealing the butter and putting in his mouth, the butter was everywhere, the face and the head and the hair and the clothes on the body and a little in the mouth and little outside the mouth and all over the fingers, all over the floor. It is just cute. It is sweet. So his food eating, Bhuktam Madhuram, Suptam Madhuram. See, the eating has one more story, and we all know that, Sudama. So giving the Lord, how important it is. The only thing Sudama had when he went to see Bhagwan was that he carried a small quantity of pawa, or the flattened rice. And Krishna noticed it. So he grabbed it. He started eating. When he started eating, everybody in his palace was upset. Upset because if he keeps eating, and even though it was a fistful of pawa, people thought that if he finishes that, he's going to give everything to Sudama. So they said, can we share? Can we share? Can we eat some too? If it is so sweet, we like to eat, we like to share. And the only reason they want to share is because they didn't want Krishna to eat all. Every grain he puts in the mouth, he kept giving something to Sudama. And ultimately he gave a large palace to Sudama. And what is it? In return of one fistful of flattened rice. That is what food is. So we should never hesitate serving the Lord. Actually, Bhagwan takes anything. We think Bhagwan doesn't take anything. But Bhagwan has a subtle way of absorbing the nutrients and blessing you without reducing the quantity of the food we offer to Bhagwan. So we think Bhagwan doesn't eat. Not true. Bhagwan eats. We don't see because the quantity is not gone. Only subtlety is gone. So we offer Bhagwan is bhog. Bhagwan gives us is called prasad, but it is the same thing. We are not offering prasad to Bhagwan. When we get back, it becomes prasad. When we offer, it's a bhog. Suptam madhuram, rupam madhuram, tilakam madhuram. Sleeping is very sweet. Of course, it is sweet. You can see Bhagwan in a little swing and Yashoda singing, you know. So that is the sweetest thing in the world anyway. Rupam madhuram. Bhagwan's form is fantastic. Now you can see right now, he never stands straight. Something is crooked. The hands are up, the leg is on the other side of the leg. We never stand like this. He stands like this. His head is on one side. So he doesn't, but it's just cute. It's beautiful. It's sweet. This is the way he is all the time. And you can see 100 pictures of Lord Krishna. Every single of the picture is like that. So he stands beautiful. His look is beautiful. The color of his skin is beautiful. The smile is beautiful. The eyes are glowing. Look at him. And not just this picture, every single picture of Lord Krishna is beautiful, is sweet. Tilakam madhuram. So let me tell you a little bit about tilakam. You see the forehead. It has a U-shaped tilakam. So that tilak represents the foot of Narayana. So if you wet your foot and put it on the floor, it looks like something like a U. So that U, it represents the foot of the Supreme Lord. There are different potu or different dots or different bindi in different people historically. So the Brahmins use Chandan. Chandan represents knowledge. Brahmin is the person who has the knowledge. Kumkum is used by soldiers, by protectors. The red, it represents vigor, the power. Kesar is used by Vaishya. They are rich, they are business people. They can afford, so they use Kesar. Shudras have the least amount of money, and they are the poorest of all. They use ash and make the tilak or the dot of ash. The married women, but actually even the girls at all age, they put the red bindi or now colorful and now different shaped bindi on the forehead. It represents that this person invokes sanctity, is a divine person. She is not interested in any other man or a person in her life. So when people notice that, they should rather not bother that woman or a girl. And when they look at other people with the bindi, then they see and understand that that other person is also spiritual and a divine, and it invokes the sanctity. So bindi has tremendous value. People in America laugh, but when they do ask questions, we must answer the value of the bindi and shouldn't be ashamed of it. So that is the description of the bindis. So rupam madhuram, tilakam madhuram, madhuradipate rakhilam madhuram. The Bhagavan, the Lord of the sweetness, the ocean full of sweetness, he shares with everybody in the world. Next. Fine. Yeah. Karanam madhuram, taranam madhuram, haranam madhuram, ramanam madhuram. Karanam madhuram. Bhagwan's actions is sweet. No matter what he did in his whole life, He kept on acting all throughout the life, and it is sweet. He takes his responsibility very, very seriously. There are people who are very advanced people, knowledgeable people, and everything they do is very meticulous. All their actions are very meticulous. More learned people, more meticulous they are. Vivekananda once said that it is not how biggest success you have. And you might have a big success. You can have 100 crores worth of a temple. But what counts is how you do the little things accurately, meticulously, correctly, with attention. So every action should be like that. Lord Krishna's example is, remember, he was the charioteer in the Mahabharata war. And he was a big shot, and everybody knew Lord Krishna, that he's the charioteer of Arjuna. He can give his work to anybody, and 10 people will run to do the work for him. But he, with his own hands, took care of the horses. The horses of his chariot, he gave bath. They have wounds, they have injuries. He took care of the injuries. He cleaned the wound. He put the bandage. He took care of the dressing of the wounds on the feet, on the legs of the horses of his chariot. He doesn't have to do that. But no, I'm responsible. So he himself gave the bath to all his horses. And in some pictures, we see 4 horses. In some pictures, we see 5 horses. Horses represents the senses. But he took care of all of them. That is Karanam Madhuram, that all his actions are sweet. He killed the demons. And how many? There was a whole list of some 20 different incidences of Lord Krishna killing the demons. What did he do at the end? He liberated all of them. He sent them to Vaikuntha. He sent those demons to his house. That is compassion. That is his action. Taranam Madhuram. Taranam is swimming. And swimming is one time in Yamuna, at the time of when he took care of Kaliya. And also Taranam has another meaning, that he swims, but he takes care of your swimming across the ocean of sansar. He holds our hands. As long as we trust him, he will take us across the ocean of sansar. He will help us get the realization, get the liberation, and the end of the birth and death and birth and death. That is Taranam Madhuram. Haranam Madhuram. Haranam is stealing. He used to steal. Of course, that was his lila. So he stole butter. And why did he steal? His parents were rich. There was no shortage of butter, but he went from house to house and stole the butter, not for himself, to share with other Gopas who were poor and who couldn't afford the butter. So once again, it's the value of sharing with other people. And the only thing we know is that he was stealing the butter. He wasn't stealing for himself. He was stealing to share with the other people. That is his karanam. That is his action. So the haranam is stealing. Once he was hungry and lost, and he was with Arjuna, and he went for the food, or he went to a rich man's house, and that rich man was very uncooperative. And even then, Lord praised that God gives you lots of wealth. And they both left. Then they went to the poor man's house. The poor man was his bhakta. He had nothing. all he had was one cow, and he gave the milk, and both of them were happy. And while he left, he said, let your cow die. And Arjun cannot understand that the rich man who doesn't need money, you are giving him the extra wealth. And the poor man who has only one cow, and you want to kill that cow. What kind of nyaya it is? So Lord had to explain. What did he say? That the only thing the rich man cares is his wealth. Let him have it. Wealth does not give you happiness. I don't care how much you collect. Millionaires and billionaires are not happy people. Not necessarily happy. All it can do is that buy the objects. He wants wealth, let him have wealth. Doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that he's going to be happy. Then why did you take away the cow from a poor man? Bhagavan says that, listen, I'm going to take care of him. There is no problem. But this cow is his attachment. He is my bhakta. And he wants to be with me. But he cannot do that because he's attached to the cow, and the only thing he got is this cow. So day and night he's after cow, and he has no time to do the bhakti of mine. I am going to take care of him. But let that cow go. So now he's with me, and then I can bless him. There is no problem. See, the thinking that is haranam madhuram, ramanam madhuram. It's the same thing, ramanam, haranam madhuram, ramanam madhuram. It is actually misprint in this particular one. It is not ramanam, it is smaranam. It is not ramanam. The real scripture, the real book says smaranam madhuram. Smaranam is remembering Bhagavan. So when we remember Bhagavan, he becomes our friends. So there are a lot of people all day, they do smaranam. Smaranam is also one of the 9 ways of doing the bhakti. Smaranam is you chant Bhagavan's name, whether it is Krishna or it is Ram or it is another one, doesn't matter. So all day on your lips, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. And we can see that in India, there were people who didn't know much, but they were bhakta. So even when they're cooking in the house, and they may not be educated or can't even read well, but on their lips is continuously Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. When they go out, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. When they go to the temple, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. That is smaranam. And smaranam is one of the best way of doing the bhakti of the Lord. That smaranam, remembering the Lord, is also very sweet. Vamitam madaram. Vamitam means the love. Love of the Lord is sweet. Shamitam madaram. Calmness of Bhagavan is sweet. So Bhagavan is always calm. He's always, if you have watched the series on there was a video and movie and shows on Mahabharata, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you can see that Mahabharata, and no matter how many episodes are, Bhagavan is never crying. He's never angry. He's never shouting. He doesn't have to. And that character was so beautifully shown that he always smiles. So you look at that face, it was really mimicking the face of Lord Krishna. His vamitam, his love is sweet, and his calmness is sweet. With the calmness, you can get a lot of work done. That's what they say, that with the honey, you catch more flies rather than fly beaters. Next one. Gunja. Okay. Gunja Madhura Mala Madhura Yamuna Madhura Vichi Madhura. So Gunja is nothing but it's one kind of beads. And those red beads, they look beautiful. And people make necklace out of it. Mala Madhura. So mala, you can make many, many different ways. You can make it from flowers. You can make it from leaves and flowers combination. You can make it from beads. And there are many, many different kind of beads. So all of that means is the decoration. And this 6, 7, 8, 9 is not just about Lord Krishna. It is the association of Lord Krishna. So in up to the 5 shlokas was only about the sweetness and beauty of Lord Krishna. And now 6, 7, 8 is about what is related to Lord Krishna. So Gunja are the beads, mala is the necklace. That is garland is beautiful. And in many different ways you can make the garland. Actually, what they do is that a lot of temples, the Lord does not have clothes. And even on the body, when they put the clothes on, it's a little yellow under the waist, vest and below. But the front of the body, the whole body is full of decoration. It can be gold, or it can be diamonds, not necessarily real. And it can be all different decorations. Sometimes all of them are fake most of the time. In our temples, it better be fake because otherwise it's going to be stolen away. But the decoration with the beads and pearls of different colors, and you cover the whole body with the pearls and the gold and the all different garlands. So Gunja Madhura Mala Madhura, Yamuna Madhura. The Yamuna is the Yamuna river. So these 3 words they go together. Yamuna is the river, Vichi is the waves, and Salila is the water. So all 3 words, Yamuna Madhura, Vichi Madhura, Salilam Madhuram, and Kamalam Madhuram. Kamal is the lotus, and lotus is also in the water. So all 4 of them represents the water, and everything is sweet. Little description of Kamalam, lotus is, if you notice, all our gods have lotus. Either they are holding, or they are sitting on lotus, or they are standing on lotus, or they are giving lotus to somebody. But every Ishvara has a lotus. Why is it that? Our scriptures describe this way, is that the lotus grows in dirty water, lives in dirty water. The life is in dirty water. Birth is in dirty water. Dies in the dirty water. But if you see the lotus, it is always clean and pure. We in Kali Yuga should be like that all our surroundings has problem. Our television has problem. Our books have problems. Our WhatsApp has problems. There is too much of impurities in the world, especially lusty stuff. Even the advertisement of the toys is just garbage. We live around with impurities at all times, but we can be pure. It should not touch us, even though we are born, we grow, we live, we spend all our life within the impurities all around us. We can be 100% pure. That is the lesson. Let's see the 7th. Gopi Madhura Leela Madhura Yuktam Madhuram Book. It is not Muktam, it is Bhuktam. Bhuktam Madhuram. So See, when this is copied from online literature, there are some mistakes there. So Gopi Madhura, then of course we are talking about Gopi. So gopis were the resident females of Vrindavan, and the gopis, see, we once again misunderstand, and especially the people who are not Hindus. They think that, aha, Lord Krishna flirts around all throughout his life. No, gopis are the bhakta. Gopis are the disciples. Gopis love the Lord. That love has nothing to do with lust. They are not the girlfriends of today. That's not what it means. It is our ignorance that we laugh. Haha, what kind of Lord you have? He fools around all throughout his life. Untrue. So gopis are the bhaktas, and what do they do? They ideally, in situations in Vrindavan, they raise the cattle, they milk the cattle, they sell the milk, they work in the house, they raise the children, they are married people. The love for the Lord has nothing to do with their married life with their own families and children. So those gopis are sweet. Actually, they described that all the people of Vrindavan were sweet. And they loved each other, they loved the God. The Go stands for cow. And the Go also stands for the senses. That means that the gopis, with their all five senses, enjoy the company of Bhagavan Krishna. That is the deeper meaning of gopi. So gopis are sweet. Leela Madhura. Of course, Leela is his sports. Leela is whatever actions that he does when he's born. The Supreme Lord is born as an avatar. That is described as Leela. Leela's real translation means sports, and that really means actions. The actions of Lord Krishna is very sweet. Well, that's what he did. He took the things from the criminals and he gave it to the proper owner. He for himself kept nothing for himself. So that's what he did all throughout his life. And all his actions were sweet. That was the purpose of Madhurashtakam, and that was the purpose of all our Puranas too, is to create the feeling, the bhav of love for the Lord, and with the explanation of what should be our values and virtues in our life, that comes out from the Vedas, and both together is described in Puranas. So Gopis Madhura, Leela Madhura. Yuktam Madhuram. Union with the Lord is sweet. Of course, it is sweet at all the time. It is the Bhagwan's union. It is the thinking of divinity from us. It is always sweet. Bhuktam Madhuram. So Bhuktam had two meanings. In the fourth shloka, also it says Bhuktam Madhuram. That Bhuktam was eating the food that Bhagwan took. That is called Bhuktam. Bhuktam is also protection. That the protection offered by Bhagwan to all the people is also sweet. And he gave the protection to every single person who is his bhakta. That's what he did. Drustam Madhuram. The drustam, glimpse is drustam. Glimpse is sweet. Of course, when we go to the temple, we are mesmerized. We are so happy. Our day is brightened the day we enter the temple. And that's why people do the puja at home, to be a friend of Bhagavan and to understand, have a company and change our day. So that's what Dristam Madhuram, the glimpse of the look at the Bhagavan, where our glimpse also brightens up, isn't it? When we talk to the son or the daughter who is not with us and we just talk to them on either WhatsApp or FaceTime. So the same way, the looking at the God brightens up our day. Shistam Madhuram. the gentleness and obedience of Bhagavan. Bhagavan never disrespected the other people, whether he liked the people or he doesn't like the people. Even with the wicked people, he killed them, but he respected every single person. And that is the quality we are supposed to have. Somebody said, I don't know who said, I forgot now, that the real gentleman is that not only the learned people, Jnani, it was in another book, the real Jnani is one who not only respects every respectable people, but he also respects the non-respectable people, the people who have a poor quality, or dirty, or uneducated, or lower. He respects them too. So there is no person you don't respect. That's the way it should be. And the last one. Gopa Madhura Gao Madhura Yastir Madhura Srushtir Madhura. Gopas are his cowherd play boys. These are the people with whom he's playing. These are the Gopas. They're the friends. They are sweet to each other. Gao Madhura. Cow. Gao means cows. The cows were very sweet too. The cows were the happiest cows in the world. The cows of Vrindavan. Why were they happy? Because Krishna was there. So what? Krishna even had a habit of taking the milk directly from the cow's udders. And they go in ecstasy. Bhagavan touched me. So, Gao Madhura, Yastir Madhura, the stick that is used to direct the cows in one direction. That stick that is used on the animals is not to punish the animal. It is only to direct them to go in the right direction. So it is not a punishment stick. It was only the direction stick. Srushtir Madhura, the whole creation of Bhagavan is sweet. Don't we do that? That we work for several months and then we get tired and then we say, okay, I want to run away from here. So where do you want to go? Maybe I'll go to some mountain, or I will go to some beach, or I will go to some ocean, or I will go on cruise. Or why do we do that? Because all of that is Lord's creation. All of that is sweet. All of that is beautiful. So the whole purpose of bhakti is to create the love for our relationship with the Lord. And the reason why we do that is because that is the way we change our living, our behavior. Our love for the Lord teaches one thing, and that in Sanskrit is described as chitta ekagrata. Bhakti gives us chitta ekagrata. That is single pointedness. What do we need the single pointedness for? Single pointedness helps us realizing when we meditate. So before we meditate, we need two things. What are those two things? One is chitta shuddhi. Chitta shuddhi occurs with the nishkam karma, service of the world, and chitta ekagrata occurs with the bhakti of the Lord. These two are primary requirement before we study jnana. And that study is Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. Shravanam is studies which teach us what the scriptures are. Mananam is reflection on it and removing our doubts. And Nididhyasanam is meditation. That meditation is impossible without bhakti and nishkam karma. That's why bhakti is very, very important. It is one of the prerequisites before we meditate. So that's what is about Lord Krishna. We more and more we study about the Lord, or more and more we read about the Lord, more and more we do puja or japa and upasana, we create the love for the Lord, which is necessary.
Beautiful. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद जतिन भाई.
Thank you.
I hope सब लोगों ने उतना ही enjoy किया जितना मैंने किया. तो किसी को कोई क्वेश्चन हो तो जतिन भाई से पूछ सकते हैं. नहीं.
Beautiful explanation. Beautiful explanation, Jatin bhai.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Urmil ji.
This is your yesterday's question. If you wake up at 3 in the morning and if you cannot sleep up to 5 o'clock, all you can do is Krishna's bhakti and you will go to sleep. Upasana is the answer.
Right. Jatin ji, Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Ye Dalitam, what is Dalitam?
Dalitam and Phalitam. Dalitam is leaves. Phalitam is
leaves. Okay.
So leaves and fruits. It is nature. It is nature which is beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you. Very nice. I knew this bhajan, but the meaning, the explanation was really great.
If we know the meaning, we enjoy singing.
Yeah.
So it's good to know the meaning.
Always.
Yes.
So जैसे आप बोल रहे थे ना कि वॉर से कोई किसी को बेनिफिट नहीं होता, तो मैं आजकल एक ही प्रेयर के ऊपर बहुत स्ट्रेस कर रहा हूँ कि ये रशिया की और यूक्रेन की वॉर नहीं हो, because the way I look at it, I don't know how everybody looks at it. It will be disastrous for the whole world.
War never makes you happy.
That's true.
War has always problems, always death.
Yeah.
Actually, let me add, if you have a couple of minutes, do you?
Yes.
Okay. All of the scriptures and most important scriptures are Ramayana and Mahabharata. Both of them are nothing but the war. That war is Mano Yuddha. That war is occurring in our mind. We have sattvic thoughts and we have demonic thoughts. Every single human being has good thoughts and bad thoughts. Bad thoughts is Rakshas. Good thoughts is sattvic. So you can, asuric, people say asuric. Rakshas is the same as asuric. So those two are not the war outside. It is the war in our head. And we have our duty to destroy the asuric thoughts in our mind. That's what our scriptures are for. The war is not outside. War is in our mind.
Right. Right. ठीक है, तो लगता नहीं किसी को और कोई क्वेश्चन है.
So for next month, we will be in touch with each other and we will
Right.
what days,
Right.
what topic.
ठीक है.
Okay.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.
I like some book instead of common topics because the book will teach Advaita Vedanta. The common topics don't necessarily teach Advaita Vedanta. So if you want to pick a book and then start from the beginning and finish the whole book, we will have a real good idea of what the Hindu scriptures are teaching us. These are general topics. These are important topics. They always give some knowledge.
Right.
But the systematic studies which we do on other days, like we do it on Tuesdays and we do it on Thursdays, we can do it on Friday, but I can discuss with one of you and then we decide whatever you want, we will do.
Yeah. हम कमेटी में बात करेंगे तो फिर आपसे बात कर लेंगे.
Perfect. Okay.
ठीक.
Okay. Thank you. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Hari Om. Hari Om.
Thank you, Jatin bhai.
Thank you.
11 तो शांति पाठ करके फिर समाप्ति करें।
जी
उसको मैसेज किया।
आप कर दीजिए
यहाँ
ना,
पर है।
आप कर दीजिए, मेरी नोट मेरे पास में नहीं है। अरुण भाई आप
अच्छा ठीक। अभिलाष जी आप हैं? अभिलाष जी
जी अरुण जी।
I'm also here, Arun ji.
ठीक है। नहीं अभिलाष जी शांति पाठ कर देंगे मैंने कहा।
Okay, that's
sure.
fine.
ओम द्यौ शांति अंतरिक्षं शांति पृथ्वी शांतिरापः शांतिरोषधयः शांति वनस्पतयः शांति शांति विश्वे देवा शांति ब्रह्मा शांति सर्वगं शांति शांतिरेवा शांति सामा शांति शांतिरेधि। ओम शांति शांति शांति। सभी को नमस्ते।
धन्यवाद अभिलाष जी नमस्ते। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। आप सब तन मन धन से सुखी रहें, यही भगवान के माँ के चरण कमलों में मेरी प्रार्थना। ऐसे ही मंदिर की सेवा करते रहें। से क्या शुभ रात्रि शुभ रात्रि शुभ रात्रि। तो आपका वीकेंड शुभ हो। तृप्ति बहन नमस्ते,
नमस्ते एवरीवन।
कैसे हैं?
बस एकदम अच्छे हैं, आप कैसे हैं सब?
सब अच्छे हैं। देखिए
हाँ बहुत ही अच्छा था। अब जतिन भाई ने बहुत ही अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन किया मधुराष्ट्रम।
मधुराष्ट्रकम। हाँ कई कई चीजें हैं जो है फिर उन्होंने करेक्शन भी करी जो प्रिंटेड नहीं थे सही।
हाँ नहीं वो मैं बुक लेके बैठी थी तो मेरी बुक में स्मरणा भी था, सो मैं सोच रही थी कि ये सच्चा है कि वो है। सो अच्छा
राइट।
लेकिन कुछ भी क्लैरिफिकेशन की जरूरत नहीं पड़ी, इतना क्रिस्प एंड क्लियर था। एवरीथिंग वाज लाइक फ्लोइंग सो वेल।
Right.
There was no reason कि we should ask questions, but there was none.
Yeah. Very nice.
ठीक है।
Okay, thank you.
Good night everybody. Good night Jessica.
Good night.
Good night जी। Good night.
Have a nice weekend.
Pabla ji, have a good weekend.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.